Hey, Teddy.
Hey.
What's new?
My psoriasis is back.
Oh.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fan fiction it inspires. Before we begin, just want to remind you to like, subscribe, follow wherever you listen to us so you don't miss any episodes or bonus stuff that we do. I'm Sandra.
I'm Karlee, and first off, right off the bat, we have a guest this week. Yay! It's
Yay.
Ted. He wants a jingle. We don't have a jingle yet.
I want it by the next time I come out on the show. I need to hear one.
No, there might be a jingle by the time this episode goes out. We just don't have one prepared because you told me 10 minutes ago that you wanted a jingle. I didn't have one ready.
My husband wants a jingle.
Make a jingle in your head for Ted,
make it so
everybody.
Complicated.
Please. Ted wants a jingle. We'll find Ted a jingle. But we love having Ted on anyway. Bonus Ted is always the best. But the reason Ted is with us this week is because Sandra and Ted have just come back from DC Con over the weekend. So it is currently the 6th of October, and the con was last week. So it was the 29th to the 1st, the 29th of September to the 1st of October, and they were in DC. And it was cool, and it was exciting, and they went to go see a museum, and then Sandra didn't take any fucking pictures, even though I specifically told her, take me pictures of cool things at the museum, and she didn't.
It was
And then when
really
she came back online, hours later, she was like, I got stuck on the metro, and my phone nearly died, and before any of this happened, I didn't take you any fucking pictures anyway. So, rude, frankly rude, but DCCon, Ted has joined us, because Ted's a logistics guy, and I love that about him, because Sandra will tell me what Jensen smelled like. Ted will tell me what he thinks of the trains in DC, and I need that in my life. I need that. So I will hand it over to you guys. Sandra's got a list. It's highlighted and everything.
What we're going to try to do is kind of get him to weigh in on some certain things that he was literally a part of during the convention, and then Karlee and I are going to chat afterwards about other things. So he doesn't have to hear me fawn incessantly as he usually does about
I'm used to it now.
About all the stuff that was happening. I don't know, Ted, like overall thoughts, like when we...
Well, I would say, comparing this con to the other ones we've been to between Charlotte, New Jersey, and DC, this one had a different feel about it. And it turned out that one of the people that goes to the shows all the time, who does videos and posts online, so that's brought more people into going to cons, because now they can see what's going on and they want to go. She announced that she has
she's terminally ill,
and they renamed the con. All of the characters periodically throughout the convention were wearing bright green shirts that said CreationDC. You could tell the vibe was a little more mellow. I would rate this actually as the best of all their conventions, because it felt more real. Like it's not just we're going because these are actors. It's all family. At first, I didn't understand why they were wearing these CreationDCs and all that stuff, and then there were parts of this thing where you could tell they were actually fighting back, crying. Chuck, what's the name of that actor?
That's Rob Benedict.
He several times, just, you could tell he could barely get the song out that he was trying to play, because he just was getting really emotional. But everybody pushed through it. There's a lot of love in the audience for everybody, and we got to hear everybody get questions answered, and got to hear some things that had never been mentioned before, but I don't know if I want to repeat the ones that Ruth had slipped out.
Yeah, no, I think we could probably let Karlee know about that after, if we want. Yeah, that was an interesting conversation. Yeah, no, it was I think the family aspect of it was more prevalent and felt kind of more real, because the connection that you actually saw the actors having with someone who's been, I believe Krista's been coming to conventions, from what I've been reading or seeing, since like about 2009. So doing, being that person that's, there and giving other fans an opportunity to experience something they normally wouldn't experience. I mean, I know her, I'm subscribed to her for those reasons, because she will always have a video out for, if there's a certain convention that I want to, watch a panel about, she's always posting. And it's actually kind of like, I think we've really gotten and the experience of what it's like for her to not post, because she hasn't been posting videos like normally as quickly as she would. The not seeing those videos right after, there's an immediate void, and like people are asking, like, do you know if somebody's going to put up any videos? And then even when they do put up videos, somebody puts up a video that's like sideways so that we can't watch it all the way through. And again, no fault of the person uploading it, but it's just someone who's done it and does it so regularly, and now to not experience that or always expect that and then not have it, you feel that immediate, I think, void within the fandom too. So it was very, very emotional. And I'll talk a little bit about like what I saw too, like at the Jared Op. Definitely a different experience too with the actor strike still going on, because they couldn't talk about certain things, but it almost seemed like Jensen and Jared were not adhering to it. And as they were talking, like Ted and I were going, "Ooh, I hope they don't get into trouble for this," because it's like, oh, dude, like reel it in. Like, I don't think you're supposed to be stating like the name or talking about the characters. And out of everybody, I think they were the ones that did it the most.
Yeah, they
and
didn't seem...
I would think like a red flag or something should be like waving, like abort, like stop talking about it. But so I was really kind of worried about them. And Ted's still like, I wonder, I'm hoping, I mean, it's too late now because some of the videos are out, but I'm hoping that if Krista does upload some videos, that she might be editing heavily so that they don't get into trouble, by what they mention here and there. So yeah,
I would think, knowing Jared and Jensen, if they knew, which obviously they did, that this was going to be Krista's last con, there wasn't anything that was going to keep them from,
that's what we were thinking,
giving her the best experience. So they maybe they'll get their wrist slapped by their union. Maybe there'll be some hate online. That'll be weird, wouldn't it? Hate towards Jared Jensen online. Very fucking bizarre. But maybe they'll get in trouble with their union, but I very much doubt they'll care about that as much as they would care about not giving. Well,
that was your thought
was thinking
too, right?
that they had already contacted the union and pled their case that this person's big fan of theirs has pretty much brought people to these conventions by herself, making all these videos. They got permission to be allowed to not go in depth, but still use the name of the show and that kind of stuff. I
still don't think that's across the board though, because Ruth was very worried about saying something
she
that would get
one
herself
little
into
bit
trouble.
And she's like told, like you could see like all the way up on stage, or about 10 rows, 20 rows back or so. You could see she kind of like froze.
And I think she had nothing to worry about the way she was talking about it, but she was very, very conscientious of how she tailored her answers and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting to see.
I would definitely put money on that, because we know from Jared having been, going around some of the not creation cons and making a big concentrated effort to be like, this guy that I worked with, y'all know who it is, deliberately not mentioning anything, to then toss that out of the window at this con. I think that's probably some things are more important kind of thing. And we support the actor strike here on Idling in the Impala, of course, but some things are more important.
And I think they've come to an interim agreement anyway. I think that happened either Monday or Tuesday. I haven't gotten like full details, but it sounds like people, like, it's been lifted that people can start to talk about projects and things again. So there could have even been something in the wind, that they knew was going on.
They had inside information ahead of time.
That, they were like, okay, well,
maybe.
maybe they were feeling a little less worried about. I actually haven't watched any of the more recent conventions since the strike, so I can't compare it to whether or not they've been this way the whole time, or if it's just
stuff I heard about Jared. It's just stuff I've heard. But then you got to think as well, Jensen owns a production company. He probably knows people that know people that know what's going on.
Yeah.
Jared's still in with CW. He probably knows people that know people that knows what's going on. You know, they probably have more information than maybe Ruth as an actress has. But you know, it's important for them to strike, and I stand with them with what they're striking for. But life doesn't always work that way, and I would not put it past either of them to have gone, no, fuck that. We're not gonna censor ourselves and potentially not give Krista the best con we can give her, because that's, oh god, that's so momentous.
That love for the fans that I think, you know, all the actors had, that Krista is a symbol of, you know. So I think that was really important. Yeah, I'm really glad we got to be a part of that kind of in person, you know, because it was a special time.
You know, if somebody just told me about it after the fact, it wouldn't sink in the way that this really got through to me.
Yeah. I mean, I try and avoid Twitter, but I had to go on Twitter because you were there. I had to be like, people hunt down Sandra, and just the waves and waves of pictures, you know, photo ops, green t-shirts, especially on Sunday when people were posting Saturday night special photos, it was really overwhelming.
Yeah.
Just even at a distance, you know, completely distant physically, and the distance of trying not to engage with Twitter but still having to kind of be there.
Yeah.
It was still really overwhelming. So I'm sure it was very sad and very somber at times, but also really glad that you guys were there to be a part of it as well.
So do you want to do like a Friday breakdown, Ted, of some highlights of your experience? I don't know if you want to talk a little about registration, or if you just want to go straight into like the first photo that we did when we were there, which was with just the car, which was called Baby Sis. Registration, I felt like
it was normal.
Was really simple, actually, a lot simpler than it has been. I think it was just the time.
Know exactly where to go. We're in the same venue and just go right to the right spot.
Yeah, so that was simple. Got all the things I needed to get. Got all my PDFs transferred over to hard tickets, which you have to do if it's like Jensen, Jared, or Misha. Like they give you the little tickets for them.
Why?
Everybody else, they can just scan the PDFs. I guess it's just to make sure people don't
copy
it. Maybe, I don't know. So they do that. They do like a hard ticket.
Just make it a fucking QR code that changes.
I think actually now on they're changing everything about the cons. Like I think everything you could basically do on your phones now. I think this is one of the last cons that might be just like where you have to print stuff out and bring it in and stuff. So I think they're changing that up. Yeah.
Oh, but what if you have like a memory book and you're putting your ticket stubs?
I don't know, babe.
Like,
I don't know. They just, you have to keep the memory in your head.
Well, for me, that's
just
not
happening.
You could print out the ticket though, and then still show them the digital version, but you probably have a printable version.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
Not the same, though.
I don't know. The Baby Sis, which is the replica that was on site at the DC convention, based on the schedule, they were only going to run from like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I was like, Ted, let's get it done on Friday, because we've seen what the lines look like Saturday and Sunday for a photo with baby, just with baby, not like
nobody else involved.
Nobody else involved. They're insane, rightly so. Baby's iconic. She needs her time. People want to spend time with her. But I was like, if we do it on Friday, it'll probably be a lot more calm, relaxed, and we won't feel as rushed. So we had to rush to get to registration. And then I was like, well, let's get the photo with Baby Sis. And I was very excited because having heard
excited.
Yeah, having heard that this car was used in season 12. So
it was on set.
So before we get into that, before we get into that, because we're gonna. So I have a couple of questions. You guys, in your very first con, which was, let me just scroll down.
Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah. You guys had a baby photo up then, just with the car. I don't even think they were doing J2. Is this the same car that it was in 2021? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Totally different.
Follow-up question to that.
Charlotte was just a guy
that go ahead, Ted.
Had gotten a Chevy Nova and
Chevy Nova?
Chevy Impala. Oh, wow. But he got.
I'm gonna Google Chevy Nova now to see how wrong
No,
you are. Carry
please
on.
My
don't.
mom used to have that car, actually. So yeah.
That's the one I was talking about, having the stick to hold the hatch open.
No,
right?
that's not it. You've never seen that
Okay,
car.
I'm
No.
I'm
I'm
losing
talking way back,
connections here.
like when I was like 7 or 8 years old. She had a Chevy Nova.
But so yeah, the one we went to in Charlotte, the guy just basically had restored one added all the features to look just like from the show, put all the weaponry in the
Just
trunk.
like everybody tends to do. Yeah. Yeah.
But this one truly
Ew.
was with the show.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Yeah. So what was your next question, Karlee?
My follow-up, well, no, I Googled Chevy Nova and I'm like,
Oh.
oh God, it's so boxy and icky. No.
I told you
Ew,
not
no.
to.
Review about it though. It's fine. You had it on your brain because we were just talking about other cars. So, follow-up question: is this one the same one that you had the off with the following day with Jared
Yes.
Jensen? Or
Yes.
is that a different car?
Same
No,
car.
same car.
Same
Cool.
car.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Same car.
Go.
Same car.
And I'm gonna make my comment to you live on the podcast now because I told Dreamer about it, and now I'm gonna tell everybody about it. So you tell me what is special about this car. It was on set on season 12. Go.
Well, Jensen and Jared have sat in that
Listeners,
bench
people,
seat.
people, her ass sat, because Sandra sat in the driver's seat, obviously.
I
Ted
did.
was in the passenger seat. But we're not going to freak Ted out. He can extrapolate from what I'm about to say. Her ass sat in the same place as Jensen's ass. By the transit of properties, her ass has touched Jensen's ass. That is the coolest fucking thing.
Well,
It's not the coolest thing that happened this weekend, but it's the coolest thing that happened on Friday
That happened to my
of
ass.
this weekend. It's the coolest thing that's ever happened to Sandra's ass. Ever. It's the coolest thing that happened to Sandra's ass on Friday. On that Friday. On September the 29th, 2023. The coolest thing that happened to Sandra's ass on that day is that it sat where Jensen Ackles' ass has sat. The Ackles' ass has sat on that bench seat, and so has yours. That is fucking cool. Ted, I invite you not to extrapolate what that might mean about your own rear end.
I actually have something to say about that because I've watched outtakes from many episodes where he is ripping and farting up in that car like crazy, and Jared is doing this like, oh God, it's horrible, and I'm sitting in that seat,
Yeah.
and it's just like my ass is in a place that had his gas.
Yeah, absolutely. But you should feel privileged.
Also, by the transit of property, your ass has also touched Jared's ass, but that is, you know, that somehow that doesn't have quite the same ring to it, does it?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I will say.
I thought you were going to tell me something that was like an ass groove in the seat because Jared's so big. That was where I thought you were going to go. You're like, I sat down and I sunk down like a good inch.
Aww.
It's because there's a big bump in the ceiling of the car for his head.
So
No, I'm kidding.
I will say that for the Charlotte picture with baby, I let Ted sit in the driver's seat. But for this one, when I knew, and I had bought a sort of like replica of baby's keys that we were going to use in a photo op with Jared and Jensen. So I said, well, I'm gonna use the keys. I said I want to be in the driver's seat. So the guy was really great that owns the car. He took some pictures of us at the trunk. So, cause he was like, so how do you want to pose? Do you want to pose with weapons? And I said, no, because last time my husband pointed a gun at me in the photo. And he was like, why did you do that?
I'm not a typical American that's got guns all over the place. I don't handle them. And I made a mistake of my posing with the gun, holding it to my up at a 45-degree angle, not realizing.
And I was right there. And I was like,
Sandra's
okay,
head
we're
is
not going
right
to do
where the
that
gun's
again.
pointed.
So
Yeah.
instead, he'd already had some poses in mind, but I did say I wanted a picture of the cooler. I wanted to be able to see the cooler in the picture. So that was like the first pictures that he took of us with the cooler. And then he took one of us like leaning into the trunk, which was really cool. So you got to see some of the weaponry and different things like that. And then they were like, well, you can go into the car and then somebody else will take your picture. So it was another person that we've dealt with before that works for Creation. She's very nice. And she was taking pictures of us I was in the driver's seat, and she took a few of me. I wanted to hold the keys up, and I made a point. Didn't they say something like,
there's
don't
the
have
battery's been
anything.
disconnected, you can't take the car.
No. Didn't they say something like, don't have anything sharp in your pockets for
Yes.
the upholstery? And I pulled out my keys so that the owner would see it. And I said, don't worry. I said, I'm not going to have these in my pocket. He's like, I said, I just want to hold these up. He's like, oh, that's okay. He's like, I've got my own set anyway. Don't worry. You can't go anywhere. I'm like, okay. So I was very happy. I was an excited, happy little camper to hold my keys up.
Great smile.
So that I was like, getting ready to drive baby. And then the person taking the picture was like, oh, well, since you have the keys, let me take a picture of you from the other side. And just pretend like you're putting the keys in the ignition. So they're just very like helpful and creative. And it's just like a fun little moment.
Well,
and
that's great.
It doesn't hurt that Sandra is really good at coming up with different props, and they're very, they take really good cues from what Sandra brings.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, but I was lucky enough that somebody was already making replica keys, or else I would not have been able to do that on Etsy. So yeah, it was fun. We had a nice time. Ted was very accommodating for me, and he was like, "You can sit in the driver's seat." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, it's your baby.
Well, for that moment, it was my baby.
Yeah, baby.
So that was a fun start to the convention itself, and
it was very relaxing. It wasn't like there was a huge line of people there. It wasn't like we were crowded into and kicked out real quickly.
Yeah. Which is, like I said, I don't think we would have gotten that same feeling doing it on a really busy Saturday or Sunday. It would have been similar to what we've experienced with other, photo op situations. So,
and the following day, we were able to come to the rescue of the photographer because she was carrying a bag of sodas.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It blew open on the street. I had just said that bag's not going to survive, and it blows out.
It was that night, actually. It was karaoke night.
Oh, that's right. Oh, DJ was struggling to try to figure out how to put this wig on. I'm like, wig? I'm like, she's like, yeah, she's trying to put a wig on for tonight's karaoke show.
Yeah.
And so we got insider information. So I didn't understand what kind of wig he'd be wearing. I didn't know if he was going to come out in a full dress or go anyway with that. But we can get to that. That's a little teaser for the next part later. DJ's mysterious wig.
Mm-hmm. That was that day. So we went back to the hotel, relaxed a little bit. Because then I was like, do you want to go do karaoke? I said, absolutely. DJ's going to be hosting, and DJ's always a lot of fun, DJ/Garth. And he was like, yes, let's do that.
I have to qualify now. When you say do karaoke.
Oh, we didn't sing. We just went to watch.
There are people in the audience that
you have to sign up in advance.
Sign up for it, and not just the entertainers, but actually people that are there to see them can get put in a list and go up there and get to sing their songs, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't do that.
Oh no, I have a lifelong love of karaoke because the bar I used to drink in when I was not old enough to drink, but that's not relevant. I drank in it after I was old enough as well. Anyway, Thursday night was karaoke night, and you got a free shot for every song that you sung, no matter how badly you sung it. So we would go out with like a tenner and get shit faced on free shots. So I have an enthusiastic love for karaoke because it got me drunk many nights I couldn't afford to get drunk.
Gotcha. Well, that's
okay,
that's a good reason. That's a good reason. Yeah.
But if you have to sign up in advance, I wouldn't do that. I'd like in the moment, I'd be like, yeah, maybe and grab a pal, but not if I had to sign up in advance. I'd talk myself out of it then.
Yeah, and I think that well, I think we stayed for we didn't stay for the whole thing because we were getting pretty tired from the whole day, but I think we stayed for a good hour and a half of it. And so DJ does.
So what was the thing with DJ?
So DJ does themes for each karaoke night that he hosts, because I think he's been hosting for maybe about 2023. I think he's been hosting most of them. So the theme was the British are coming. So he wore, as you could imagine, the tails, like the top coat, the wig, the powdered wig, and a little like.
Oh no, that's so wrong.
He did all that. So he had
he rocked it.
He rocked it very well, and people could dress up with the theme. And then what they were doing too was you could get a photo with DJ after, like if you wanted, like like with him like dressed up and stuff like that. So
lots and
I need
lots
you-
of British flag.
yeah, we know,
dresses.
Karlee. There's a lot of
No,
names wrong.
No, I need you to specify because I have to work out exactly how offended I have to be on behalf
Okay,
of the country.
think of George Washington.
So like a suit, like
yeah.
long coattails, white shirt,
Stockings,
like black trousers.
stockings. He had
Frills.
stockings on. He had, I don't know if he had frills, but I know he had like, he just reminded me of George Washington from any of the, like if you looked at any of the paintings and stuff like that of them, you know, signing the Constitution or whatever, like any of those dudes probably, except for maybe Benjamin Franklin. He looked like them. Yeah, he looked like
I'm
a George
even
Washington.
more upset now. The outfit that what you were describing to start off with was like top hat and tails, right? Okay, yeah, that's fine. And then you went into like Henry VIII style, like frills and stockings. Powdered wigs are for fucking courtroom.
Yeah, he had
Why
one
is it
though. He had
still
it.
today?
He had
That goes with nothing else he was wearing. Oh, I'm so upset. I thought you were going to say he came out dressed as the Queen, actually. That was what I thought you were going to say.
Probably would have been
That
really
would have been great.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I don't. Or even like Marie Antoinette or something like that. Like if he had done something, even though that's not
He's
British.
not British.
I know, but
Yeah.
still, I would have
We're
seen
not claiming
him.
her.
I would have seen him trying to like, you know, go the whole route with like, you know, the big, I don't know how to describe costumes or whatever, but the big skirts, the flouncy skirts and stuff like that. But I think that would have been too much on stage because he kept losing his hat anyway. Did he lose his wig?
He was wearing a hat on top of that wig.
Yep.
He was wearing a hat. He kept losing the hat, but I don't think he lost
had
the
the
wig.
wig
kind
on
of
the
hat?
entire time we were there.
It's
What kind
like
of hat?
It's like a
Like a
you're gonna have
colonial?
to like a colonial, like whatever George Washington would wear. You got to look it up because I'm
Bondulance.
awful with describing.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have a stroke. Fucking hell. Oh my god, pick an era, dude. I know you think like 100 years is a long time, but fucking hell.
Did you
Pick
you
one.
find it? Did you find it?
You don't wear a hat with a pounded wig. I'm more upset about that than anything else you said to me about this outfit.
That's
Don't
what he did.
wear that.
That's what he did. I won't be able to find it. I won't be able to find it.
Yeah, just send me it later. So Garth offended all of Britain. Okay. No, that's not true actually. He probably only would technically offend all of England because Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales would be like, look how mad they are. Yeah, no, I'm offended on behalf of my country.
Okay. If I find it, I'll offend you more later so that you can see it.
Yes, please do. Carry on.
And next time I see DJ, I'll make sure to relay that information to him that he's offending people overseas.
Oh, this is great. I'm gonna send this. Here, I see it.
Oh no,
That's kind of frills, like the shirt.
Do I need to go on Twitter and find a picture of DJ? Is that what I need to do?
No, I'm
Sandra
gonna
found it.
send one to you.
She
Hold
sent
on,
it
I'm
to
just
you.
gonna save it because I need to send this to you before anything else transpires because then we're gonna
Because I'm ready to get us on another tangent.
Misty.
Woo!
Hold
Little
on.
tangent.
Yeah, because then the next part is going to be, I think, Saturday, right, Ted? Is that
Yeah.
Gonna be? Yeah. Okay. Almost there, Karlee. My Gen X ass. Okay, I'm sending it on Messenger so you can see it.
I think I see.
Do you see it?
I can see what he's going for.
I didn't even see his shoes when we were too
Yeah.
far
See
away.
the whole-
It's very.
It's almost like pilgrimy / colonial.
It is not
yeah.
even a little bit pilgrimy.
No, the
colonial.
shoes.
No, it
I'm
is
talking
not.
about the shoes. The shoes remind
No,
me
it's
of like
not.
pilgrims.
It's
buckles.
not. It's not.
It reminds me of buckles.
It's not. It's. You all seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
That's a costume from the East India Trading Company.
He might have been going,
privateer
yeah, that's
costume.
probably what it was.
Right, and the way you described any of this to me is not how I was picturing it in my head, and it is
Again,
much more
so-
cohesive.
It's a good thing that I sent you the picture because, like I said, I'm terrible at describing costumes. So, yeah, that's
a.
So anybody listening to this, please go.
don't
feel
pay
free
any attention
to
to what I just described because it's nothing like that.
We'll put a link. We'll
There
put a
we go.
link to the photo. We love
to
a link
help
to
understand
the photo.
this whole conversation a little bit better.
Yeah.
God,
Okay.
that's just. Like, if anything, that's more offensive than anything else. If it had just been like a weird mishmash of British eras, I might have been all right. But
Oh.
that's that's not the kind of powdered wig that you would wear in a courtroom either. It's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
Well, we love DJ.
That's such an Americanized. If he's trying to be a Brit, that's so Americanized. Good Lord, that is a George Washington wig.
So,
Like you say,
Yeah.
powdered wig. I'll send you a picture of what a powdered wig.
Oh
looks
no,
like.
I've seen those like in the courtrooms and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
not-
height
not-
and
not
stuff like
all
that. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
all that.
That was probably the wrong
Yeah.
term I used for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there we go.
There
Good
we go.
fucking Lord. Right. Anyway, Ted's
So
ready
do you,
to take us on another tangent.
do you want? Are you talking about Saturday and
right
the?
into Saturday now.
Okay, so talk about Saturday
Cool,
and the
cool.
J2 baby
Okay.
experience.
So we were able to, go back to the same, baby area, the spot where they have baby parked at, but we got to get our photos with Jared and Jensen. Our ticket number was 9, but for some reason they decided not to go by numbers.
They didn't
and
post
they didn't even say
anything on the screen. So if they'd posted something on the screen, we probably would have gotten there sooner. Ted's like, we should go down. We should go down. I'm like, no, let's wait for the number. Ted's like, people are leaving.
Yeah.
I don't think they're showing the numbers. I was like, okay, let's go downstairs. We go downstairs. We
There's
are
the line.
at the very back of a very long, not super long, but a long line. So it didn't matter that we had number 9. We were not going to be one of the first ones to get our picture
Rude.
taken, which was
Rude.
Well, I can say
Rude.
I've experienced that same exact thing
Yeah.
when I was getting a photo with
Cass. We'll say Cass. Yeah.
and I had
We
a
won't say
very
the
low
other
ticket
name.
number.
Yeah.
And when I got into the line went so long, it went through the lobby, went down a hill, and went underneath the hotel to the point where I couldn't even send text messages out to tell Sandra where I was at. And I had a low number, but
And this was, I think that was
acknowledge.
DC too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was DC last year.
Yeah, I remember that last year.
So we did end up actually, there was a little bit of serendipity in us being in line at a certain point while we were waiting for the photo op, because what happened, Ted? And
I was looking.
Ted
at
was
a
eagle
door.
eyes on this.
I saw like you always see like assistants like shooting around, grabbing coffees and stuff. Well, I saw somebody with a platter, and they went up to this double door on a random hallway and kind of pulled the door open and shot in. I'm like, what's going on behind that door? Oh, well, no big deal. And so we just waited in line. Next thing you know, Sandra's back is to the door, and very, very tall, very tall individual comes walking out right past Sandra. It was Moose.
And then another tall individual, not quite as tall, was with him.
Yeah.
And that was Jensen. Yeah. So they
Wow,
they
cool.
were late. The whole weekend, the boys
Shocker.
were late because there was a lot of stuff going on. So they were late. So I think that's what pushed everything behind too, and not knowing when we could get out there and stuff like that. But yeah, they kind of walked right out those front doors, and we were literally like right there. So, I waved, but like, everybody was waving and freaking
waved.
out. So,
Yeah.
I'm
but
surprised nobody ran up to them.
well, they did have, they had
Enough
security.
people
Yeah.
have probably been kicked out for it that people just don't do it anymore.
Yeah. And I think Cliff was with them. And I think Jensen's security guard, which I have a little thing about when I talk about my autograph thing with him. But
Well, before we talk about the actual photo,
okay.
would you
This
like
is
to
gonna
talk
be
about
long.
the props that you brought to the photo?
So I'd had a discussion with Ted about wanting to do, I was going to get a set of keys that, Ted could sort of like hold and dangle, like, haha, I've got the keys sort of situation. And I figured I printed out a map. It's like a cartoony looking map. I stuck a little hidden Delaware on the map, and the part that we were, well, really, I'm the only one. Well, no, Jared was good.
can see
Jared
it.
was
He's
looking at the
pointing at
map too, for the pictures.
Looking at
But
it, yeah.
but I wasn't expecting Jensen to. I was expecting all the focus to be on Ted,
Jensen
which it
was
was.
looking into my soul.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So yeah, I've got the map, and on the inside of the map, which is blank, I
On
put
Jared's side.
on Jared's side, because I that's where I wanted them. I wanted Jensen to my left and Jared to the right. The way we were going to have it, we were hoping to have it, was it would be Jensen, me, Jared, and then Ted by the car. That was the initial thought process. So I put in a dad joke for Jared just in case he would read it or whatever. So, but that was the game plan. So we had all it figured out. And then what happened, Ted, when we actually got there?
How exactly did you tell
okay, so
Dean to well, no, I can't say Dean.
So we could say Dean. We're not on the show. So for
well, I'll never be able to act.
No, you
now.
can't. They're still striking.
okay.
My
But it's
acting
not,
career
no.
just ended before it even started.
Okay, so
You'll never be allowed to join the union now. So
Never.
normally Jensen and Jared were switched. Jensen was closer to baby. So the handler, when we got up to the handler right away, I said, oh shit, they're not, which I was expected. I was like, can we get them to switch places? So she gave them the direction to switch. So as they're switching, I don't remember what I said. What did I say? I was like,
you told him
I
that
basically
Ted's
just
got the
told
keys to
everybody
baby.
like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're looking at a map. Jensen, my husband's got the keys to baby and you're not happy about it. And he's like, I think he said, okay. And so I think Ted tried to get closer to baby, but Jared just wrangled him in.
Mhm.
So I don't think
I
what
would
we're
say almost
thinking-
enveloped. I mean, he's just like so
Yeah.
big.
So I think whatever we thought about doing, this worked out so much better.
Yeah.
So Jared
have-
just kind of like grabbed him and was just like, latched onto him, which I think was great. You get so much Jared time all the time.
I
It's
think
so
he has
amazing.
he has a man crush on me.
I should have asked Ted to get the Jared hug for me, but we'll get to that. But I have two things to comment on. First of all, these are the pictures that made me a liar. And secondly, I have outrage to share with you, Sandra, specifically,
Oh,
because I don't
okay.
know if you will have seen this.
Okay.
So I had posted before this
Okay.
that I might have even posted it I might have even posted it on the Friday. But I had posted, Sandra's in DC. She's at the DC con. If you see a lady with a ponytail with a guy wearing a Hawaiian shirt, go up and say hi. And you fucking aren't, Ted. And she came at me on Twitter and she's like, I have persuaded him not to wear the
Yeah,
Hawaiian
because
shirt this weekend.
I didn't want him to. I said for this photo, I said there's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be busy. I said, please.
Can I have
don't-
you in a nice
Can I
shirt?
have you in a solid colored shirt, please? And he said, okay. So
Yeah,
we
no
got the
problem.
shirt approved.
Oh, look,
Yes.
the things you do for your wife. But no, you made me a liar because I was like, Hawaiian shirt. Because you, every
And I
picture I've
clarified. Yeah, I
ever
clarified.
seen-
Yeah, as always, a Hawaiian shirt. Yes, or
Always.
plaid.
Yeah.
He's done plaid before on a couple
But see,
occasions.
I can't wear plaid to a supernatural convention because
I did.
60% of the people there are wearing plaid.
I did. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
have
that
minded.
would not have been That would not have been helpful for identification purposes.
Yeah.
Look for the lady with the ponytail standing next to the dude in plaid. Fucking hell. Anywhere.
We'll
Well-
do better next time. Next time we'll have him in a Hawaiian shirt the whole time. He will not be in a
No,
disagreement.
no,
with that.
no. Next time you go, I'm gonna make you wear personalized shirts.
Oh,
I'm gonna make-
I'll get a custom Hawaiian shirt
Yeah.
with a lot of
Supernatural
Impalas.
stuff. There we
Impalas all
go.
over it.
I bet you somebody
Yes.
has something like that. We'll have to look into
And
that, Ted.
in
You can
one of
get-
the Impalas, we'll put Dean sticking his head out.
I know you
of
can
it.
get the boys one like that. So I'm sure we could probably find something that's
You
supernatural.
can get Hawaiian shirts made with a pet's face on them.
Mhm.
I
Oh.
bet if you contacted one of those companies and no, it's
Yeah.
not a cat face, it's a cat.
We will look
please.
into
Well,
that.
You know
They
what? You
would
could use
do
the whole
that.
AI thing that's going around. You could tell AI you want to have a Hawaiian shirt print with Impalas, and then you give it the image of Dean.
Honest to God, I could probably design something. So we're probably fine. We can
Okay.
figure something out. We'll
I'm
figure something out.
overthinking it.
And
You're
I want
overthinking.
you to put whatever Ted's year of birth, and I want you to make the back like a football shirt. And we're just gonna have Ted and then a number. It doesn't have to be a year of birth or anything, just a number. And then I could be like, look for the lady with the ponytail standing next to the guy
Well,
wearing
if
the
you're gonna
Hawaiian
do
shirt
that-
with Impalas, and it says Ted on the back.
What year was the Impala?
67?
So that would be my
Seven.
number on the back of the shirt.
67?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so
Look for
I
right.
want
No,
to.
no, 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 no.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm not done. No, I'm not done. 'Cause it's still important to this. So these pictures are on Twitter, but we'll include a link in the description. In the arm that Jared is wrangling Ted with is the only word. He's very heavily put his arm on Ted's shoulder in very much what can only be interpreted as a stay there, move. Ted's kind of inching towards the Impala, and Jared's just kind of going,
No.
no. But he's wearing a watch.
Yeah.
And longtime listeners of the show, but specifically Sandra, will know I have a lot of issues with the price of clothing that specifically.
Did you check the watch?
I didn't, but it came up on Twitter.
Is
You know,
it
'cause there's,
Jensen's too? Are they both
No,
expensive?
No, there's a Jared closet, apparently. I went and looked, but there
Okay.
wasn't really anything. But there's a Jared closet. So it's not a Rolex, first of all. I don't know why people thought Jared would wear a Rolex, but it is an $11,000 watch.
Ted, you could have.
I was that close to an $11,000 watch.
Close
Well, I
to
mean,
an
honestly,
$11,000 watch.
Jensen, I'm sure, is wearing stuff that's ridiculously expensive too, and it just doesn't look it as well.
I will double check, but I saw it. I think Jared wore the same watch all weekend, but it's an $11,000 watch, which, by
Wow.
the way, blows
Impressive.
out the $5,000 Tom Ford jacket that I hate. Like, come at me, people. That green jacket he wore on the boys' promo tour is gross. Like, I'll fight anybody about it. It's icky. I don't care if it costs $5,000. It's gross. But it blows out the $5,000 Tom Ford jacket. It blows out those god awful fucking Gucci jackets that they wore that they got gifted a few cons ago, and the $1,000 trainers, an $11,000 watch. And Ted, you were that close. You were that close. How fast do you think you'd have moved if you'd gone for the strap?
Wow, that's amazing.
I could have offered him the keys with my hand holding up, and with my other hand kind of held his forearm and distracted him, and just kind of unlatched it and slipped it right off. Oh man, I was so close to getting it.
But you know what? All things aside, what they were wearing, I was very impressed at how. I mean, I'm always impressed at how quickly they are able to do poses, but like they just did their thing and just like did it like immediately. Like they got us. They did the thing that they needed to do.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
was
it's not so much of a pose switch from Jensen from one pose to another, but Jared, it's a good switch from Jared.
Well, Jensen's hand goes up in the back of me for the next one, and I think his hands go out. Like, dude, what?
Well, yeah. When you look at, do you have the two pictures that we had with them?
I do have them side by side.
Okay,
Yeah.
the first picture was the one where we got the full view of baby in the picture, and Sandra had just told him, I got his keys and whatnot, and for a split second he shoots me a look, but then if you flip to the next picture, he's throwing his hand up like, what the hell? And like now, if you look at my hair, you see me have gray hair now. He has that ability.
So what was your statement that I've now proliferated throughout the social media?
Oh man,
places?
the look he gave me, it was him looking into my soul and smacking me.
What an excellent.
You literally said, though, he stared into my soul and not in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
That's what
I
you
went.
said.
I
That's
just
right.
went and double checked. And it's not the watch that he's wearing in your picture. It's a watch he was wearing on the Sunday, because I checked and it's not in your picture from Saturday. So it's not that watch. You weren't that close to an $11,000 watch. But
Okay.
Maybe he was just renting that watch.
So I was close to an
Doubt it.
$11,000 watch then.
on Sunday in your J2 off. Yes, you
Okay.
were.
Okay.
It's a it sells for around $11,324.50. That's important.
Yeah, that 50 cents. That'll break your bank.
That's
right
what
there.
what'll break the bank. Yeah, I will say,
go
it's
ahead.
icky. It's gross. Like, I'll send you all a picture. It's gross.
I like the boots that Jensen's wearing. I feel like they're kind of Dean-esque
boots.
a little bit. Yeah. So I was glad to
Yeah.
see that. I
And
was
my
like,
shoes almost match Jensen's.
almost match Jared's.
Jared's. I mean,
Yeah. Those are his Sam boots. Those are his trusty Sam boots.
so now that you
They
point
are.
out the fact that Jensen had his hand up behind your head,
Mhm.
I can see a storyline here where, because I have the keys, he is getting ready to shove you out of the way to lunge at me for the keys.
Well,
Yeah.
that was what Karlee had made the suggestion to make sure I had Jensen closer to me, because the hope was he would lean into me more to get to you. So
Mhm.
I can't say he's leaned in anymore, but I am, there is chest. There is chest
Yeah.
touching with the shoulder.
Well, I gotta say, I
Yeah.
think I had more contact with
You definitely had more contact with
Jared.
Jared. He's all over you, baby. He's all over you. Karlee is not pleased.
Don't- showing off his wad. No, I am
My knees
super
are starting
pleased.
to bend a little bit. I think him putting his arm on me,
His
just
arm on
pushing
your
me
shoulder.
down.
It's like, whoa,
Buckling you
this is a lot
down.
of weight. A lot of weight.
No, I'm. This is one of the very rare pictures that anybody could be touching Jared, and I'm not mad about it because his smile in your second picture
Yeah.
is his sunshine smile.
Yeah.
And I love it so much. And I love so much that it's juxtaposed with Jensen's. What the fuck? And now I also have it in my head that he is literally seconds away from fully like grabbing you by the back of the head
You
and
know,
just
I
shoving
really
you out
believed
of
that
the
was
way.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there'd have been a third picture, it
Yeah.
would have just been Sandra flailing out of shot.
They did
And-
make a point of saying there would be no retakes, so that was why they were taking 2 photos. So
In case somebody
yeah.
blinked.
in case somebody blinked or whatever. So again, the fact that they did it so quickly and just kind of like switched up a little bit, I thought
Amazing.
was really great.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
And
And
Sam boots.
we
And for
think-
once,
yeah, go ahead.
Once, Jensen's not wearing anything I hate.
No, they were very
That's rare.
It felt very subdued and it worked. I was kind
Yeah.
of glad. I was like, okay, if I
I
can't
mean,
have
their
plaid,
characters,
I'm glad for this.
You know, they really wouldn't have to do too much out of the norm. You know,
Yeah, but we're
to
saying
be
more that
represented.
like they don't really like before. I think at the earlier cons, I feel like they dressed maybe a little bit more like Dean and Sam, where
Yeah.
plaid was like Jared wears plaid a lot. Jensen does
I was
not
gonna
as much
say,
anymore.
are we-
plaid
Are
that
we
Jared's
looking at the
wearing?
same picture?
No, but I'm saying like at all, like now since Jensen's gone into his diva phase, he's like within the past couple years. Before that, I feel like he was pretty subdued and wore a lot more plaid, and kind of like brought the Dean a little bit more. This is as close to Dean as we're going to get right now. Yeah, the license plate is the same.
Is it?
Yeah, CNK. Yeah, that's their
Oh, okay.
that's their like second iteration of the license plate. Yeah. Yeah. So
I want you to know, Sandra, that
Mhm.
was your radio company has no soul moment. Jensen got into his diva phase. That right there is when you have to bag. I mean, like, you're obviously not going to have to fly across the Atlantic, but you're going to have to bankrupt yourself and buy like gold pass
I think
seats
he
and
would
everything.
say it's not a. I think he
You
would
won't
admit he's
know.
going diva.
You
we won't-
won't
we
know
won't know.
until
Yeah.
you've spent all that money to get in front of him and go, "Hi, podcast host, you subtweeted my podcast because I said you were in a diva phase, and I am very sorry." You won't know if he's okay with it until
Well,
you get to that moment. That was it
Jensen,
right there.
You can come at me, Jensen. I'll take all of it.
Come at me, bro. When you figure out how to log into Twitter again, come at me, bro.
Oh my! Look at the time.
Look at the time. I know. So anyway, after we spent 20 minutes on that
Oh, I
guy,
lost the
what
itinerary.
did you do with the list?
I was hungry.
Ah.
How could you have
Yes.
lost the list? You haven't moved.
I'm
He has it
flipping
right in front of
through
him.
her photo album of all of the Comic-Con
Ah,
pictures,
right.
and it stayed with the first picture of baby.
Okay, so do you have any? We're gonna zip through. Do you have
We're gonna have to
any
jump through.
anything about the
Head
concert
thought.
that you wanted to talk about from your remembrance of the concert?
So normally she kind of comes
Or are you
out.
talking about Brianna/Donna,
I don't know anymore.
the
The
blonde,
blonde one.
or the dark
Well,
hair?
no, it's not that. I'm trying to remember. Like, I just know one of them came up. I think like with like leather jacket on, was all kind of punk rock type.
Brianna.
But then at
For this one,
convention,
yeah.
she sang a very emotional song, and I did not realize she has an absolutely beautiful voice.
Mhm.
But
She sang "Carry On,
she's-
My Wayward Son," but like a slower version of it, and it
Y'all
was
have Apple Music, Spotify.
yeah.
Show him Brianna's album. She's done an album.
Okay,
Oh.
I think I told you that.
You may have.
Yeah,
told
because
me.
remember I
forget a
told you
lot of
she was supposed to be in Repo, the genetic opera, but
No,
then she
don't
got.
start us on
Oh.
Repo.
Okay, we're not going to
Don't
start that. We're gonna
start.
we've already done that. But
Oh,
anyway,
Repo, you didn't
Okay.
have me there for Repo. I would have loved to.
sweetie, you talked about it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So back to
the concert. Brianna did a very. It was very, very
People were very
emotional.
quiet for
yeah.
her when she started singing that, and we knew who she was singing that directly for too.
Again, because for this concert, I think Krista got to pick the songs she wanted to hear, so she got to
Yeah.
request, and that's why Jensen, we found out, ended up because normally he doesn't really sing at a lot of these concerts. He does, but it's not very often.
Son of a bitch.
He did the son of a bitch. Karlee does not like that song. I love that song because it's Dean incarnate. But so
I don't, but I like the fucking song he sung this time. Not the first
Yeah.
one with the guitar. I don't know that one, but I heard a clip of the chorus, and it was something about what that woman did to me, and I was like, oh, fuck's sake, not again. Moving on.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he did like a Can't You See? I think it was, and I had to look it up, Marshall Tucker Band or something like that. And he played the guitar, which was great. I mean, that was the first thing he came out and did. But then I was just like, Ted has no idea. Like he didn't understand the importance of this. But like when the chords of the next song started, and I was just like tapping his thigh, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's Whipping Post," and he's like, "What?" I'm like, I never thought I'd see him sing this in person. So it was just like one of those things where he's done it a lot, and it's kind of like an iconic song that he sings. Because I thought maybe he might do Brother, because I was thinking like maybe that might be something she would have requested, but she requested Whipping Post, and it was
She knows.
amazing.
She knows what the people want.
It was amazing.
She knows.
I have not watched the concert because I think there's a couple vids that have his section in, not the whole concert.
I'm looking at vids because I googled "Can't You See?" Just because like maybe I'll give it a go. But so there's a couple of like 4-minute vids of "Can't You See?" I can see if I googled "Whipping Post" by Jensen Ackles, I'm gonna get like the older ones. I think.
Well, there's one that's like 10 minutes, and I think that's both songs. So if you see something that says 10 minutes, I think it's both songs. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm pretty sure that would have both. That would have the first one and then Whipping Post. So yes, it was amazing.
That's it. Oh, there's one from.
He also then
San Francisco.
He sang back up to a Richard Speight song that he sung, and then he came out at the end with Rob when they did the whole kazoo thing. They did a song. Do you want to get ready to go, or you just want to talk one more about the Jared and Jensen? Just about the little bit in the beginning. So sorry, Karlee.
The Delaware.
We're skipping about, but so
no, it's fine.
The first person.
We're skipping to Sunday. The Jared and Jensen panel, and the very first person that had a question said they were from Selbyville, Delaware, and we got all excited, and then Jared said something like, "What's the big deal? Who is somebody else from Delaware?" And he screamed, and Jared was like, "Oh, congrats! There's like 3 other people." But it was great because throughout at least like for the next 15 or 20 minutes, occasionally Jared would pepper in, "Oh, what are you from Delaware?" or something like that. So I was just like, "Oh my God." I was like, I can die happy now. I said, he's mentioned Delaware. Delaware's become a running joke in a panel that we were at. So I loved it. That was great. But go ahead.
When Jared and Jensen were doing the panel, like we said before, they were talking about Supernatural. We kind of like were worried about them. But then somebody asked, how long have you guys been friends or something like that? And I'd heard
that was the first question, I think.
Similar question before, but this one they went a lot more into it. I hadn't heard this much about their first meeting, and I knew about them both being the only 2 people there to autograph or to interview for the roles.
Really?
But I did not know that they actually just hung out.
Yeah, like right after. Yeah.
And
I think they talked a little bit. They exchanged phone numbers, and then I think they ended up hanging out at Jared's house. Like I think like a day or so later.
Ping pong
table.
And that ping pong table came to the set in the back, between shots.
And then they started the whole tangent.
Took it away.
And then they started about all the things they had to take away, like the spotlights from Baby, and like all the stuff that got, like the horn that got taken away, the radio that got taken away, so all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, it was.
But we always thought the spotlight was taken off because that's when they mount cameras on the car to be able to get a cleaner shot. I didn't realize they would just turn it on people in the set.
No, they fucked about with it too much.
Yeah.
They took it out.
Yeah.
They genuinely are such good friends, and that made it so much easier for them to do their roles.
It was nice to
cute.
see that again too. And actually, like Jared was the one this time that had made a comment about, in case because we're going to try and work on bringing the show back again. Like Jensen didn't make comment. Jared was the first one to mention it this time, because I kind of keep track of when I hear them talking about who mentions what and what the reaction is. And Jared had said that first this time, and I was like, okay, maybe he's missing it now that he can't talk about it as much. So yeah, but do you want to? I don't know if you want to rank. I know you said this one's kind of like your favorite.
Actually, I am going to put it as a favorite.
Okay.
Now that I've been talking about
That's
it.
your favorite one, and then what would be second?
Well, definitely not the New Jersey one with the hotel setup.
No.
Maybe Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte.
So our first one.
Yeah.
Just for the experience of it. Yeah,
'cause
and then
we were
probably
newbies.
the one, I think the DC one is when you got to have your thing with Bobby, Jim Beaver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think New Jersey last for him just because of how horrific the hotel was and the experience. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So
but
just,
all in all, they
before
all were wonderful cons. You know, I'm not knocking any of them for
Too hard.
not being good.
Too hard. Yeah.
Now, just before we let Ted go, while he's talking about thinking that maybe they took the spotlight off the mount cameras, I saw it. It's probably quite an old clip now, but the prop master for Supernatural would come and take things out of their hands during scenes because they were fucking about with them. So when they had angel blades, like whatever, like in the later seasons when everybody had an angel blade, they weren't special anymore. Jared was saying they'd just be like, they'd just be messing about, just like twirling it around in their hands or like throwing it up and catching it, and she'd just storm into the scene, take it off them, and just leave. And they'd be like filming, and she'd just be like, "No, you're gonna break it, give," and just take it. So never assume there's a technical reason for something being taken away if Jared and Jensen are involved, because odds are it's because they fucked about with it, because they gutted the Impalas because they just messed about with everything in them. So they just took everything out. Radios, lights, horns, everything.
I would love to see their dad's journal because of all the stuff they wrote inside of it that is something they can never speak about. I bet you that stuff is hysterical.
Oh God. I wonder who has it, if anybody has it.
They burned it.
No, I bet you somebody has it.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. You must have heard the con stories of how if they had to hand anybody a laptop in the show, when they handed it over, it would be playing hardcore pornography to the person, and they would be like, "Keep a straight face, motherfucker."
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Jared got kicked off set for doing it to Alex in the later seasons. I think it's when he gives Jack his laptop and he's like, "Catch up," but obviously it wasn't. They would either have like really gross photos or hardcore porn on whatever digital device they could get it on, and they handed them over to people.
But you know what? They didn't even need props and computers to mess with. They just messed with each other under the table. That's hysterical. I can't imagine.
There's a foot on my balls right now.
All right. Well, you've got to get going, but he's got to get himself, because he's
climb on the roof.
He's fidgeting about, so I know he's also been here for a while. But
it's been a pleasure joining you people on this.
Thank you. And, you're gonna have to come back and just chat, not for a con, just chat. We'll have a special TED. We'll have a TED episode.
His schedule's busy, but we'll see what we can do.
Then I'll shut down like your husband.
No, because
too much.
We won't tell you that it's a TED episode. We'll just be
I'll
we're just
figure
gonna have a
out
chat
at some point.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming and chatting.
You're very welcome.
As always, you are genuinely. I love when Sandra goes to cons because I'm like, I'm gonna get a TED episode. Yay! I genuinely, I'd love talking to you, and then you only come on cons. You need to come and chat. Just chat.
We definitely have to figure out
mysterious.
maybe a husband thing at some point, even if thoughts and stuff like that.
I'll see if I can get him to just give me some thoughts, and then we can be like the husbands of the crazy supernatural people. They think about it. Yes. But we won't keep Ted any longer.
Before I go,
go.
I've got a new manager at work, and I told him where I went and found out he watches Supernatural, and as soon as he said he watches it, my brain clicked. He's a hardcore Supernatural fan, and I threw all this information. I showed all the photos to him, and I'm like, I in my mind, I'm like, I said too much because he hasn't really mentioned Supernatural since I gushed all this stuff.
So one question I have for you, because I know previously it was Cass was your favorite character. Is Cass still your favorite character?
No.
Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character?
Your guy.
Dean?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's
You know what? You know what's close there is right after Dean. Well, Dean and Sam are pretty close up to the top.
No,
But
no.
Cass doesn't make the running at all for me. It's Dean and Sam, Crowley, and I keep thinking Ruth, Rowena.
Yeah.
But the two of them are also neck and neck. So Dean and Sam, but Dean, I'm sorry, just kind of squeezes a little bit above him, even though Sam's taller.
That's just because of me, though, Karlee. He doesn't. I think it's he's getting tainted.
I'm biased.
You're biased.
I was gonna give you a nice outro. Go fix your fucking shingle. Go.
Oh, did I just lose my intro song?
No, you'll still get one.
That's in her hands. She edits. I don't edit, so
Okay,
no.
well,
You'll still get a jingle. But we will say thank you endlessly to Ted for joining us. Me and Sandra have more to say because Ted wasn't present for all of the con, and also there is one solitary roof shingle that he needs to fix, and apparently no one taught him the
hopefully
British
it's
method.
just one. Well, it's been a pleasure.
You wait until there's like 5. You don't just get up ladders willy-nilly. Good lord.
So we're going to wrap up part 1 of our 2-part DC Con discussion. And just in case anyone was wondering, Ted was not harmed in the replacement of the shingle. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify and use the Q&A section to share your thoughts. All our contact details are on our website, idlingintheimpala.com. Go check it out. Don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe wherever you access your podcasts. But it's especially helpful on YouTube. Check out the causes we're championing in the description. And with that, we'll say thanks for joining us in the back seat, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.